All right, welcome back. Today we're doing the basic role-playing universal game engine by Steve Durrell and Steve Perrin, or Jason Durrell, Steve Perrin, sorry, and from Chaosium Incorporated. So I didn't, I just bought it, and then when it came, I was like, oh, Chaosium, huh? Imagine that. So it's a universal game engine, basic role-playing, tabletop role playing, stuff like that. Of course, everybody can do stuff online too, But introduced over 40 years ago, it powers the games like Call of Cthulhu, RuneQuest, Pendragon, and a couple other ones. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, RuneQuest. I played 3 or 4, 5, 6 times or something like that back in the 80s using, this book. I forget where I got it, but it might have even been a Christmas present or something like that. But anyway, so yeah, basic role-playing, universal game engine, Chaosium Incorporated, and this guy also, was there at the beginning. How about that? So, as usual, gives you some history of all the games that were involved, gives you some ideas, what dice you're going to need, some miniatures, then goes into, of course, characters, and you got to select the power level of your campaign or your adventures and things like that. The one thing that was always different from Dungeons and Dragons and Rollmaster and stuff is there are no levels, okay? The characters simply increase in power and their skills increase increase in chances of it being successful. All right, so gives you a lot of information about developing your characters. You do have, you can do point-based character creation if you wish. Got hit points, got to have some way to track your damage. There are professions for these characters and gives you a list of common professions. All right. Obviously, you can create your own. Talks about the wealth and finishing touches, and then it gives, there's a huge section on skills, how they work, and pretty much they're all well defined. A big section on powers, because if you're, you might be playing a superhero game, huge sections, sorcery, powers, so all this stuff is going to be, and they're broken out into sections and things like that for you. Then you got your section on the system itself, talk about actions, skill results, fate points, terrain, time and movement. Got big section on combat, of course. Wouldn't be, you could have a non-combat, game, I suppose. Spot rules, which is always handy, what to do in certain situations when the other rules are not clear on that. Section on equipment, of course. Probably it gives you the basics. You can always, of course, define your own equipment. Game mastering, big section on that. The setting, the game, getting started, maps, keeping things moving, house rules, game mastering techniques. In case you're an introvert like myself, you have a hard time game mastering. Section on settings, prehistoric age, Bronze Age, high medieval, high fantasy, Arabian Nights, the age of, enlightenment, super world, near future cyberpunk. So all sorts of, gives you some ideas about settings that you can use. Very nice. So a lot of thing about patch settings, reputation. Section on creatures, just it's a short section. Define your own. Gives you some ideas for some creatures. So as a game master in any kind of sort of universal role playing, you're going to have to do a lot more work than what's in the book. And then appendices, bibliography, an index for you to find your stuff, and some more character sheets. I would imagine that you can go online and find PDFs of these character sheets and download them so you can just print them instead of ripping apart your book Anyway, you could probably get AI to generate that thing, but slop, right? That's what they call it, AI, slop. Anyway, that's basic role-playing. Chaosium Incorporated, 40 years they've been producing games using this engine. So it goes way back, not as far as D&D, Rollmaster, and stuff like that, but still, if you're into something that's maybe a little more simple than, say, D&D or Rollmaster especially, take a look, see what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and we'll see you the next time.